story is one of perseverance. It's of resilience, and it's of the transformative power of education. She knows firsthand what it means to break barriers, to push forward despite challenges, and to create a better future, not just for herself, but for her kids and for her entire community. I can't wait for you guys to hear her story. It's powerful and it's inspiring, and it's exactly the kind of impact that generosity can make. Thank you for believing in the mission of the foundation, for supporting the children, families, and staff of the Council Bluffs Community School District. Now please join me in welcoming my friend, Maria Sotuyo.
Thank you, Bridget, for that great introduction. And good afternoon to everyone. It's truly an honor to be here today. And I'm going to tell you just a quick story how I landed up here. Bridget first approached me about being a keynote speaker, and I was like, bro, what the heck are you talking about? I'm a nurse by trade, I'm not a speaker. But then I realized this story isn't just about me. It's about all of us, about the power of education to change lives, to create opportunities, and to shape futures. I was born and raised in Texas, the oldest of 3 girls, including twin sisters, which meant there was never a quiet moment in my house. Growing up, my first language was Spanish. I started school as an ESL student, and I don't know how much you know about ESL students or those classes, but we're perceived that we're slow. But I wasn't slow. I just didn't understand English, that was it. So what did I do? I hired tutors for free. Meet Uncle Jesse and Zach Morris. So I was determined I was gonna learn English. And obviously my mom spoke Spanish, my dad spoke Spanish, everybody spoke Spanish, TV was in Spanish, so I said, I made a role, and as the oldest sister, I was like, we're gonna work just English. So the lineup also included Golden Girls, Family Matters, Growing Pains, but these were my tutors. Maybe that's why I was a little rebellious during that time. As the oldest, I carried a lot of responsibility. I was a translator, the interpreter, anywhere from family, bills, letters, conferences, doctor's appointment. If it was something that needed to be handled, it was on me. That responsibility has shaped the person I am today. I felt the pressure to succeed, not just for myself, but for my younger sisters that I knew they were watching. My parents worked incredibly hard. My mom was a housekeeper, and my dad doing multiple laborious jobs just to keep food on the table. But one thing they made clear, your education is your way out. And they were right. But that journey from navigating school as a first-generation student to standing here today as a director in a healthcare field wasn't easy. My parents, they didn't have the opportunity to finish school. My dad didn't finish high school, and my mom didn't complete elementary school. When she was 16, she left everything she knew to come to the US for a better life. Growing up, I watched them sacrifice so much just to put food on the table. They wanted to be involved in my schooling, in my activities, but they had impossible choices to make. Go to work, or come to my game, pick up an extra shift, or help with my homework. I saw my mom exhausted, physically and mentally, and I made a promise to myself. I'm going to break that cycle. I want to create a life where if my kids have school events, I would be there. That desire for a better future is what pushed me forward. I was the first to go to college, but life doesn't always go as planned, and I got married at a very young age of 19 and put college on the back burner. My husband and I had 2 kids before I even started Iowa Western, but I knew deep inside the importance of education, and Iowa Western gave me that opportunity. As a non-traditional student, it was not easy. I used every resource I could, scholarships, tutoring, childcare support, and I kept going because I wanted to make something very clear to my daughters. No matter what life throws at you, you keep pushing forward. But one of the biggest reasons I was able to make it work was the STAR Scholarship. This scholarship through the Iowa West Foundation and administered through the Council Bluffs School Foundation was truly a lifesaver. It just didn't help with tuition. It covered childcare. And for a mom trying to juggle class, work, 2 little ones, that was everything. And there's so many people out there that say, I love to go back to school, but I just don't see how I could do it. To you, I say, look into this program, apply. Use the resources that are out there. If I could do it, going to school, working, raising a family, you absolutely can too. Support like this exists for people like us to succeed, and I will forever be very grateful. When we first moved to Council Bluffs, we were looking for a fresh start, a community that would give our kids more opportunities. And from the moment we arrived, we felt welcomed. My children were just attending school. They were thriving, taking advantage of everything from early college academy to career-focused programs. Seeing their success reinforced what I've always believed. Education isn't just about facts in the classroom. It's about opening doors, creating pathways, and giving people the tools they need to succeed. And that's exactly what the Council Bluffs School District did for my girls. As Richard mentioned earlier, stories are impactful. So I'd like to tell you a few stories of my children because I believe they paint a pretty great picture of the incredible things that are happening in our schools. And through storytelling, we often learn the most. This is my oldest. This is Eliana. She is the family manager. She's the big picture, the thinker, the leader, the one who can seamlessly connect with her 5-year-old or her 17-year-old sister. She's a natural extrovert who thrives in team environments, and her high school years were filled with opportunities that shaped the person she is today. From National Honor Society to student council, soccer, track, cross-country, leadership programs, she embraced them all. But one of her biggest influence was music. You see, growing up, I've always wanted to play an instrument, but my parents could not afford instruments. But I knew how powerful music could be to a child's education, so I encouraged it. The girls could say I maybe demanded it, but I didn't. However, band became Eliana's passion, flute, baritone sax, leading up to her being drum major. But beyond music, what really shaped her was the teachers who saw her potential, who recognized her strengths and pushed her when she needed it the most. I'll never forget her middle school advisor pulling me aside during a teacher conference and telling me she needs to struggle. She's used to getting A's, but she needs to be challenged. He knew her not as a student, but also as a person. So he placed her in a class that would push her, that would make her think in different ways. And because of this guidance, Eliana gained confidence, resilience, and a deep love for learning. Teachers also encouraged her to explore the early college academy, recognizing that it would be a perfect fit for her future. Today, she's at the University of Iowa. Go Hawkeyes! Sorry for the Iowa State people. Majoring in international relations and Spanish, serving as a vice president of a Latino organization on campus, and setting her sights in law school. This is Lily. Lily is my 17-year-old, also known as mom number 2 in the house. She is focused, determined. She's my type A child who sets her mind on something and works relentlessly to achieve it. She's in band, track, volleyball, Council Bluffs youth leadership, student government, and she volunteers at the UNMC because she is determined to go into healthcare. But what stands out most about Lily is her work ethic. You see, there's some students that excel academically naturally, and there's others that have to work for every success. Lily is the latter. She's self-disciplined, motivated, never backs down from a challenge. That gets her in trouble with mom sometimes. This has led her to enroll next semester into the CNA program, where she will be earning both her high school diploma and her associate's degree. As a parent, her dad and I are overwhelmed with a sense of pride, knowing that our daughters will graduate high school with a college degree. That is life-changing, not just for them, but for our entire family. I have 4 girls, so we're halfway there. This is Annalise. She's my 12-year-old. She's my social butterfly. She's the kind of friend that everybody wants to have. She's in honor band, plays clarinet, sings in show choir, and is already making her mark as a leader in middle school. She thrives in environments where she's surrounded by people, which is why show choir and band are a perfect fit for her. I'm proud of her because when she sees somebody struggling to speak English, she's one to step in and help. And unlike her older sisters, and from what you can tell from the picture, she cares a little too much of how she looks when she goes to school. While she's just beginning her journey, I already see how her teachers are shaping her path, encourage her to explore, to try new things, to step outside her comfort zone. I know this because she's demonstrating a desire to do well and get good grades. And she's asked me to tell everybody she's consistently on the honor roll. Then there's Leah, my 5-year-old. And honestly, this is Leah's world, and we're just living in it. She adores her big sisters and is just beginning her own journey through our amazing schools. You see, all of my girls will probably walk the halls of Franklin, Wilson, and Thomas Jefferson. They all attended the 4-year preschool program, and let me tell you, there's no greater gift than early childhood education. It's not about academic readiness, it's about social skills, learning to wait, to share, to raise your hand, to use your inside voices. These are foundational skills that set kids up for success, and every step of the way, it has been teachers who have made the difference. And speaking about differences, I wanted to personally acknowledge and recognize Mr. Hart. Mr. Hart has taught all of my 4 girls with their early childhood education, from Ileana down to Leah. And I don't know what you call that, but I call it extraordinary. So if you guys know Mr. Hart, kudos to him because he's great. He's a great educator. I share these stories because they're just not my family stories. They're the stories of so many families in Council Bluffs. The opportunities our district provides empowers families to dream bigger, to build better lives. Because of these programs, my daughters are achieving things I've only dreamt about. The Council Bluffs School District doesn't just educate kids. It creates pathways, it builds confidence, and it opens up the possibilities that change the trajectory of entire families, and lives too. Teachers see our children for who they are. They push them, they challenge them, and they believe in them. They recognize your strengths and help them grow. And they do it for every child, every single day. That is transformative power of education. That is why our teachers are extraordinary. And that is why the Council Bluffs Community School District is a place where every child, no matter their path, has the opportunity to succeed. Being part of the Council Bluffs School Foundation has allowed me to give back to teachers and to the district that have given so much to my family. The stories I shared today, my daughter's stories, are just a few of the thousands unfolding every day in our schools. They are stories of perseverance, discovery, and transformation. And they just don't belong to students or family. They belong to all of us, young leaders, the problem solvers, the healthcare workers, the innovators. These are our future employees, customers. They're the change makers of Council Bluffs. They're sitting in our classroom right now, preparing for what comes next. And here's the truth. The opportunities we provide today will determine what's possible for tomorrow. That is why it's up to all of us, not just the educators and parents, but businesses, organizations, and individuals to ensure that every child has access to these transformative opportunities, that every student, no matter their background, is supported, challenged, and inspired to reach their full potential. Imagine what's possible when we all invest in education. When we champion our teachers, when we strengthen the pathways that lead students to success. The Council Bluffs School District is already doing that, creating opportunities, meeting students where they're at, and guiding them towards a bright future. But they can't do it alone. So today, I invite you to stay engaged. Whether it's through mentorship, advocacy, partnerships, or simply sharing the incredible things happening in our schools, your involvement matters. Because when we invest in education, we just don't change lives. We elevate our whole community. I'll leave you with this thought from Nelson Mandela. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Our students are our future. And with your support, your guidance, and their belief in potential, there's no limit of what they can achieve. Thank you for being part of this journey. Thank you for believing in our kids, our schools, and the power of education.